Most people won't realize they're going broke until it's too late, not because they're lazy or stupid or irresponsible, but because the game was redesigned while they were busy playing it. In 2025, money isn't just leaving people's wallets, it's being siphoned silently through systems, habits, and illusions that make you feel like you're winning, right up until you aren't. Ask yourself this: if you're working harder than ever, why does it feel like you're running in place? If your paycheck grew, why does your life still feel smaller? Because 2025 isn't the year people go broke, it's the year they finally realize they already are. We used to measure wealth by how much money you had. Now, it's measured by how much time you can waste. And most people don't have any left to spare. See, the modern economy runs on distraction. Every tap, every scroll, every buy now is designed to separate you from something: your focus, your energy, your future. And the moment you trade attention for entertainment, someone else gets richer. That's the first way people are going broke: the illusion of progress. In 2025, people think scrolling financial advice on TikTok is learning. They think signing up for 5 subscriptions is optimizing. They think buying a new iPhone every year is staying current. But the truth is, you're not upgrading your life, you're just upgrading your cage. The second way people go broke is by chasing fake wealth. Every generation has its gold rush. For your parents, it was houses. For millennials, it was crypto. For Gen Z, it's influence. But the pattern never changes. Hype rises, hope spikes, and the majority buy in right before it collapses. In 2025, everyone wants to get rich without being valuable. They want the lifestyle before the leverage. They want the audience before the skill. They want to post the journey without taking one. That's why people will fall for the same scam, just with new packaging. AI side hustles, fake trading bots, passive income scripts, all promising freedom, all costing time. The irony is, while people search for shortcuts, the only ones getting rich are the ones selling them. The third way people will go broke: by financing their identity. Consumer debt has evolved into a psychological drug. Buy now, pay later. Credit scores as self-worth. Designer brands as personality. And when interest rates rise, the illusion cracks. People will defend their debt because it protects their image. They won't say, "I can't afford it." They'll say, "It's an investment in myself." And yet every month, the balance grows and the stress compounds. By mid-2025, credit utilization is expected to hit record highs. Not because wages dropped, but because expectations rose faster. Everyone is trying to live the life social media convinced them they deserve. But the algorithm doesn't care about your future. It just needs your attention now. Then comes the fourth trap: the automation illusion. People think AI will make them rich, but what AI actually does is make people replaceable faster than they can adapt. Jobs that once required creativity are now commodified. Design, writing, analysis, all outsourced to prompts. People are unknowingly training the very tools that will replace them. The new broke won't look like unemployment lines. It'll look like quiet desperation. People who still have a job, but whose pay never catches inflation, whose value never compounds, whose relevance fades faster every quarter. The hardest part isn't losing money. It's realizing your skill set doesn't buy freedom anymore. Fifth, the subscription trap. You don't notice it because it's small. $9.99 here, $14.99 there. A gym you don't visit, a course you don't finish, a platform you never cancel. But collectively, those tiny leaks form a financial bleed, the kind you don't feel until your account dries up. People are being trained to rent everything: entertainment, music, even ownership itself. In the 2020s, we stopped buying and started subscribing. Now the average person is paying for the same product forever. It's not a mistake. It's design. Because true control isn't in charging you more, it's in making you forget you're paying at all. The sixth way people will go broke: inflation denial. We've entered an era where people think $100,000 is comfortable. But $100,000 today buys what $60,000 did 5 years ago. You don't notice it because inflation isn't sudden. It's slow erosion, like a tide that takes sand grain by grain. Groceries, rent, energy, all rising faster than wages. But people adapt instead of resist. They cut corners, cancel dreams, and call it adjusting. The system wants you to believe prices go up naturally. They don't. They rise because those at the top print value from thin air, while those below trade real time for depreciating paper. The longer you play the game, the less your effort buys. That's the quiet theft of 2025. Not a crash, not a crisis, just a controlled decline that feels normal. The seventh trap, lifestyle creep, the silent killer of progress. You finally get a raise, so you celebrate with a new car, a bigger apartment, or more nights out. The increase in income becomes an increase in spending, not security. In the age of social comparison, enough no longer exists. Every success is instantly outdated by someone else's highlight reel. And because social media makes you feel like you're behind, you spend like you're ahead. People don't save for freedom anymore. They save for aesthetics. Designer freedom, luxury minimalism, curated simplicity. And when the economy shifts, they'll realize they built a lifestyle, not a foundation. The eighth way, the illusion of self-employment. Everyone's a founder now, but most of them aren't building businesses. They're buying themselves jobs. Dropshipping stores, content creation, AI agencies, they look like freedom, but function like prisons. When you stop working, the income stops too. That's not entrepreneurship, that's self-employment with better branding. Meanwhile, the real winners use leverage. They build systems, teams, and products that earn while they sleep. And while the internet sells you hustle, the people at the top are quietly buying time. You think you're escaping the 9 to 5, but you just built your own, with longer hours and no health insurance. The ninth trap is financial nihilism, the belief that money doesn't matter anymore. It's growing fast among younger generations tired of impossible housing markets and inflated costs. The logic is simple. If the game's rigged, why play? So they stop saving, stop investing, stop planning. They find comfort in chaos, convincing themselves that detachment is wisdom. But the system loves apathy, because apathy is control. You can't rebel against something you've stopped caring about, and the less you try to understand the system, the more it benefits from your ignorance. In 2025, nihilism is the new poverty mindset. Not because it makes you poor, but because it makes you predictable. Now, let's zoom out. Why is this happening all at once? Because every industry, every algorithm, every economic decision in 2025 is optimized for one thing: velocity. Money doesn't need to stay with you. It just needs to keep moving. The faster it circulates, the more data they get, the more control they gain. That's the hidden engine of modern capitalism. Engineered insecurity. If you always feel slightly behind, you'll always keep spending. And if you're too distracted to notice, you'll never ask who's collecting. The truth is, most people aren't broke because of bad luck or bad choices. They're broke because they were never taught how the game actually works. Here's the mechanism behind it all. The system doesn't need you to fail, it just needs you dependent. Debt keeps you working, entertainment keeps you numb, and convenience keeps you quiet. Think about it. Why would a system built on profit ever want you financially free? Freedom stops consumption. Independence ends dependence. So instead, they sell you comfort disguised as success. They give you flexibility, not ownership. Convenience, not control. And while you think you're advancing, you're being efficiently managed. This isn't about conspiracy. It's about incentives. If every corporation earns more when you spend more, then every ad, every feature, every update is designed to keep you slightly dissatisfied. You'll never see a marketing campaign that tells you to rest, or a government incentive that rewards minimalism, because the system needs churn, it needs motion, and your exhaustion is the fuel that keeps it running. But let's make it personal. Here's how it plays out in real life. A 28-year-old in 2025 makes $80,000 a year, better than average. But after rent, taxes, insurance, groceries, and a handful of harmless subscriptions, they're left with almost nothing. So they chase side hustles online, each one promising escape. Instead, they end up working 70 hours a week to survive. They don't realize it, but they're living the modern form of slavery, digital dependence, every minute monetized, every click tracked, every thought influenced. They're not lazy, they're trapped, because in a world where everything's optimized, even your attention is currency. And if you're not the one selling it, you're the one being sold. Meanwhile, the rich play a different game entirely. They don't trade time for money, they trade systems for freedom. They don't chase trends, they create them. While everyone else argues about which side hustle is best, they're quietly buying the platforms those hustlers rely on. The upper class isn't just surviving inflation, they're using it. They borrow in cheap dollars, invest in hard assets, and let the system multiply their value automatically. Because they understand something most people don't. Money isn't made by working harder, it's made by owning what others work on. So how do you not go broke in 2025? You start by realizing that wealth isn't a product, it's a perspective. You stop chasing what looks rich and start building what stays rich. You learn leverage instead of shortcuts. You prioritize time over status, education over entertainment, and assets over aesthetics. Because the truth is, every person watching this video will go broke in one of two ways. They'll either lose their money or they'll lose their meaning. And one of those is much harder to recover from. If 2025 feels uncertain, good. It means you're awake. You're noticing the patterns most people ignore. And that awareness, that discomfort, is the first step toward control. So don't escape the system. Learn it. Use it. And when everyone else is panicking, you'll already know what to do. Because in a world designed to make you broke, the most rebellious thing you can do is understand how not to be. Would you rather keep playing their game or finally learn the rules? If you enjoyed and learned from this video, make sure to join my free Discord community where investors, including myself, share free information to help anyone. The link is down in the description.